there was no AI or ayahuasca or anyone for that matter that was going to save me from me. And I've heard you, I'm sure, sorry, I apologize, that you've heard iterations of this idea, right? That no one is coming to save you. I think when that realization hit me, it was indeed very liberating. I felt like there was agency that I had never felt before, knowing that I was responsible for myself and ultimately what I ended up doing with myself. So if I was miserable, it was something I could do something about. And in turn, if I could do good things with my life, then I'd also be obviously joyous of that, right? Of enjoying the fruits of my own labors. Um, excuse me. Ultimately, it was a question of mentality. That was the biggest difference, right? Because I went from a mentality of a victim um, via indoctrination, right? But also just because it was easy, if I'm being honest, easy to lay the blame on something else, something structural, something outside of myself, which allowed me to sort of compensate and feel sorry for myself and not take any responsibility for any of my actions or the conditions I was in. Um, and I started thinking to myself, why not me, right? Why can't I have the things that I want? Why can I not put into practice, materialize, externalize what I have in my imagination, my vision? What about if I was able to do that and put it into the world? And so it allowed me to sort of branch out and think about, well, what is it that I want? And it allowed me to work through ideas. And it was just really like almost like a childlike sort of curiosity for the world because it felt like a new start. It felt like I had figured out something that I hadn't had before. It was a moment of clarity, even, right? To feel that I had somehow cracked the code on something. Um, and so as soon as it made sense to me that, like, wow, I could literally go out there and make whatever I have in my mind happen, then I started to think, well, what is it that I need to do to make that happen, right? What are the things that I want and ultimately I'm willing to put in the work for to make happen? And so that's the question you need to be asking yourself is that once you realize that no one's coming to save you, you don't have to feel sorry for yourself. So, excuse me, when that realization hit me that no one was coming to save me, I just essentially had to get out of my own way. Um, because, like I said, it was easier for me to feel sorry for myself, excuse me, than it was to take action, right? To take action because I was tepid, I was anxious, um, I felt very reserved. I didn't have the mentality that I have now, right? Which is what? That the world is your oyster, that you need to have fun with it, right? You need to have fun. You need to have fun with your environment. You need to be able to play. And I think that's like the beauty of it, right? Is that once you figure that part out, then it's not it's not a heavy burden. If anything, it's like I said, liberating because you're able to do what you want with what you have. And we're all going to be in different places, right? So you don't need to compare. If anything, what you need to do is just see what you have in front of you and then what you have in your imagination, and then you find a way, right? You become industrious and creative and crafty, and you find a way to make, like I said, what you have in your mind a reality. And what that is could be anything. It could be many things. So think about that. All right. I'll see you in the next one.